item here, the meeting, which is public comments. We have a number of people here sitting in the audience. Somebody want to?
If I may?
Yes, please. Would you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Jose Camacho from Friends of Smith Cove and Rock the Block. If I may proceed. I'm here because I am a formerly homeless person. I've been homeless a few times in my life, and not in the distant past either. I survived a winter in the Midwest with a group of people. We survived in the periphery of an Amtrak station by staying warm in a freight elevator. That was kind of a public way to a parking lot up top that provided heat. So we survived that winter, surviving around this Amtrak. And I left those people to travel around the country. Eventually, I ended up here. So it matters to me how people without power are treated. I'm an ex-paralegal, so I understand that law is the only thing that protects me when I otherwise have nothing. So with that in mind, I discovered inadvertently that Councilmember Anna Mockler, on the agenda item of the Public Safety Committee of August 7th, wanted to deter the homeless. I maintain a YouTube channel called Friends of Smith Cove, so if you want to see her testimony, it's there, Friends of Smith Cove YouTube channel. She suggested putting up signs talking about water conservation and turning on the sprinklers at night, and that would scare away, deter the homeless away from the park. Tom Wolf chimed in, and he basically categorized homeless people as criminal vagrants, and Anna Mockler nodded vigorously. Yes, she agreed, these people aren't getting services, so we need to treat them differently. Strongly object to that. I waited for an apology, never came, and I identified myself to her as a homeless person. Never came. Recently, because the homeless community do not feel safe with her on the board of KCR, we asked her to step down, or KCR to ask her to step down. It's just, that's not the place for her when she has these ideas. So that's up in the air. Meanwhile, I've had occasion as a paralegal to find out, okay, something is seriously wrong when the person can talk about deterring the homeless from parks. And this is what's wrong. RCO, the Recreation and Conservation Office, its grants to entities like the parks here are predicated on green space equity. There's no way that when they give the parks grants for restoration projects, for maintenance projects, that it is okay to be nice to house people, but to exclude, rhetorically or actually, to exclude the homeless community from parks. Now, Tom Wolf, police chief, says we have a curfew in parks, and I've seen that there's a sign at various parks, including Haddon, that basically tells the homeless, you can't camp here overnight. So the same warnings that the house community have not to camp overnight are the same warnings that apply to homeless people. What Anna Mockler wanted was something extra, and that is discrimination. That is not equity. So when the PROS plan came out, I objected because it used very criminalizing, stigmatizing language like vagrant. Strongly objected to that. I cannot express to you how repulsive that was to me. But not just in terms of words, but that word is a policy. That policy was gotten rid of by the Supreme Court in 1972 in a case called Papa Cristo. That is a legal nullity. There's no reason for the chief to ever use that word, and especially not in a park, which is a public space. There's no artificial classification between vagrants and regular humans in parks. So what I am going to do is appeal to the RCO and ask them to review the Parks Administration in Bremerton so that they can assure us that green space equity for low-income people is a thing in the Parks Administration of the city of Bremerton. So you all are on notice. This isn't a vindictive thing. I'm not burning the village to the ground. This is a concept which must be incorporated in Bremerton. It must be incorporated in this PROS plan because this town is wired to abuse the homeless. We've seen it. We've filmed it. Okay? We are not necessarily attractive people, right? We're not, because we're desperate, we're poor, some of us are sick. I was sick walking up here. So, in green space equity, there's literature on it. The RCO has taken that and adopted it. It's actually in its official documents. There's a document called SCORP. It's an acronym, I can't remember what for. So green space equity is a thing. It is how they judge their grant-making process. They want to make sure there is green space equity in what they do and in the programs they fund. So I am hoping, as you do an overview of the PROS plan, that this can become something that is incorporated into the plan. Because it looks like we are out of luck with the council. They have circled the wagons around Anna Mockler. They don't feel there's anything wrong with what she said or was planning to do. We can't believe it. It's shocking. But so they're kind of in their own world. But maybe you guys can do something different.
Appreciate you coming and talking with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Somebody else want to present? Okay, thank you very much.